Hello and welcome back to another night in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, putting up the recordings in the evening so you get a more chill vibe. Maybe you like it. Maybe you miss the energy. Maybe you miss the yelling, the tantrums, the salt, the screaming. I don't know. But whatever it is, change is good. Trying new things can be fun. For example, Izzet? Totally new thing. Nobody's ever done it before. But the new thing that we're trying is a card called Geistwave. It looks innocent enough. 1 and a blue instant, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you controlled that permanent, draw a card. It might not look like a big deal, and you might think I should play Fading Hope instead, because Fading Hope is 1 mana cheaper, literally half. And it has a little upside in scrying. And all of those things are good points, but something that is often underrated is that little piece of text, the last 3 words of the card. Draw a card. In Magic, the history of Magic, the history of competitive Magic, figuring out how to outsmart and outplay your opponent, the thing that came first was the understanding that if you could do the same thing your opponent is doing for nearly the same cost, but you drew a card while doing it and they did not, you were getting ahead. You were getting away with card advantage. You were getting a 2-for-1, as they call it. And that's what Geistwave, I think, is a small evolution that can make a big difference. For example, you use Geistwave on your Goldspan Dragon, you save it from a removal spell, and you draw a card. You could do that with Fading Hope. But if you do it with Geistwave, getting up a card makes a huge difference, because say that you just draw a land off the top, and you play Goldspan next turn, and now you don't have a Fading Hope, and they have another removal, or you're just a turn behind in the race. That could be devastating, but Geistwave picking you up that extra card means you might draw a land next turn, but you might also have an additional spell that helps you keep up with the opponent. Geistwave with Leer, protecting Leer. Let's be honest, Fading Hope often bounces Leer to protect it. Geistwave protects Leer while drawing cards, handling a situation similarly. Now, instead of just defending ourselves, we're also defending ourselves and getting ahead in the card advantage game, which makes a huge difference. But there's one more cool target for Geistwave lurking in the deck, Battle of Frost and Fire. If there's something I love, it's sweeping the opponent's board. If there's something I love more, it's doing it again. So using Geistwave to buy back Battle of Frost and Fire and have residual 4 damage each non-giant creature and scry 3s is pretty freaking awesome. So I'm excited to be able to play this Izzet deck. Now, I rant and rave and rage and like a nasty person when I have to play against Izzet using another style of deck, such as anything that doesn't play blue. It makes me super salty. In fact, even when I play blue against Izzet, I tend to get salty because Goldspan Dragon is such a huge advantage in those matchups. But I can tell you that if you love the color blue and you love control in Standard, the right play, to be perfectly honest with you, is probably to play Izzet. And if you enjoy it, it's probably the right deck to spam for at least a while longer on the ladder, because it's very hard to beat. The direct damage answers against mono white and runes are excellent, like Spikefield Hazard, Abrade, Cinderclasm, Dragon's Fire. You know, they're going to have a hard time getting traction, and that's not even counting Geistwave as a stall tactic, Prismari Command. But then the sweepers on top of that, like Battle of Frost and Fire, and then there's the card advantage, which is just unrivaled in the color combination right now of Expressive Iteration, Unexpected Windfall, and Memory Deluge. So when you put all that together, you can come up with a pretty sweet Izzet list, and I am very excited to play this one today, because even though it might be a bit of a villain move, at least for the day, I get to experience the power of blue and not feel like I'm playing infinitely from behind against decks like Runes. So, now that I've introduced the deck and the fundamentals, I also want to thank Mike Flores. He was the one who sent me a link to what he would probably be writing about. He was the first person I saw using Geistwave in the shell. I was skeptical. I tried it. I liked it. So, shout out to Mike. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. 260 versus 109. Can we break top 100 on this game? Opponent goes first, but we have a Dragon's Fire. Then we have a bit of a dead zone until Memory Deluge in battle. We're gonna keep it. Initiate immune to Spikefield Hazard. Brutal. Please don't play Thalia. It would make me sad. Okay. I can live with that. The opponent usually puts the counter on the Ass Pirate. Not this time. Well, right now the Initiate doesn't train. Let's say go and see what the opponent does. They don't have Wandering Emperor yet. We don't need to show them the dragon. A lot of good removal draws in the deck. Cinderclasm, now is your time. Oh my god, please. Please, Cinderclasm. Not good. Please target the Usher. Okay. How do we want to do this? The Usher hasn't attacked, so they can't make a 1/1 with it. So I guess we'll target that. Just trying to stall here. We're very close to just being dead. Okay. 13 life. We should be able to get out of this turn. Just don't play a Redain. Alright, we're gonna need an untapped land. In the top 5, that should be reasonable. I don't need another dragon. Let's take more removal. You know, they run Archon now, so I should probably play this Riverglide pathway. Archon of Emiria has been really popular for combating runes. Adversary. You need stops down here for battle. I guess battle's not going away, so we don't need them yet. But next turn, you really want stops for your battles now. There's a Chasm. There is a Geist Wave to get the battle back. Let's go ahead and draw it. All these cards are pretty good for fighting mono-white. Right now, we're going to play Dragon and use a Braid on this adversary. So having the Geist Wave in hand, we don't really need it until next turn. But it can save the dragon if we decide to go that route. I guess these all stay on top, right? We're not drawing them till next turn anyway? Okay. 3 top, always terrifying. Play around Sijiri's Shelter because we can. Okay. Paulo Vitor Damaderosa strikes. Takes the leer. Alright, trigger on. I think we do bounce it. I think it's just a good play. And then we get the Chasm. We attack. We hold up Chasm for the Spellbinder. I guess we can just go for it now, but if they have Shelter, they could hit this. Nah, let's say go. It's not like I'm going to play battle instead after that happens. Cave. Attack for lethal. I must decline this. We do go to 3. There's a hazard, but we can play Leer. Leer can answer a lot of threats. I'm going to use the treasures just because if something happens to the dragon, I don't want to be priced out of our spells. So, would you like to power up that cave? Scary there for a second, but we got through it. Top 100. Playing 248 should be good for some points if we can pull off the win. Ooh. I mean, Windfall fixes a lot of things, and we have a hazard. I wouldn't call this hand great, but it's not useless. Give me a target. I dare you. Okay, looks like we have an Izzet face-off, but we are missing a crucial color. Let's get that on the field. This is going to be tough. We don't run up a ton of counter spells, hardly any to be honest. I mean, just 2 Jwari disruptions. So we have to be the aggressor here. We have to force the opponent to have all the answers. So we can use field to go get a blue. Then we fire off Windfall, hope that resolves. That can help fix the mana. Otherwise we need to draw another blue for the Deluge. Okay. I think I use this now, or they can use it as ramp next turn if they have a tap land. Okay, they still have 4 mana. Well, that's blue, but not exactly what I was looking for. Maybe they'll go for Windfall? No. I'm not going to beat a deck with Test of Talents loaded up in it anyway. I think I'll chill. I said I had to be the aggressor, but now we have a second blue. We just need to get it untapped. Maybe I'm still supposed to be the aggressor, though. I can untap and dragon if they counter it. Let's be aggressive. I know what role I have to play, and I hate it. Cool. And we get a treasure. Please target my dragon. It would make me happy. Okay. I think we try to hit a Geist Wave first off the Windfall. But it's going to be really bad if this gets Jwari'd. But if they had a Jwari, they would have played it. If they had a negate, would they play that? Maybe. What am I going to do? Discard one of these? Blowout potential with the negate. Okay. Did not find the Geist Wave, but Leer is pretty good. And we get to do this. Part of me says I'm going to need this because of our opponent having a dragon, but if they had one, we might have seen it already. Good turn sequence. They have a haul. We're supposed to keep being aggressive, but going for a Leer here is really naked. Doesn't do much. So let's iterate. Backup Leer. Land drop would be a red source. Having untapped blue here doesn't really do anything. I think I'm going to put this in my hand. I want to get more blue sources down. Having more red doesn't do much. Although these resources can make a big difference. Alright, we'll still do this. The opponent hasn't put any pressure on me yet. And it's not like we don't have any other blue sources. There's the Prismari command. I was wondering what was holding up the priority. We could blow this up. Let's wait. Really want to find some Geist Waves. That's missing right now. Missing part of this puzzle. They want to get aggro with me? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Let's go after this in case they have Fading Hope. Windfall. Kind of desperate that they made that play, huh? This is decent, I suppose. If they attack with Hall again, we're going to have a ton of mana and access to a lot of graveyard. Yeah, they're feeling really desperate. They're going for it. We have to be careful. We cannot lose to that Hall. If we have a Leer on the field, then the Soaring City is looking pretty good. If we don't, it's a lot harder. First things first, Dragon. Opponent might have the Fading Hope. If they use it here, good. It means they can't bounce the Leer for 1 mana. They're going to allow it. In that case, I think we give them the chance to attack with this Hall, which I don't think they will. Because if we cast... Well, let's see. If we cast Leer and they bounce it, then we still have the mana to use the Soaring City, unless they do something to our Dragon before they power up the Hall. That would be really bad. What we could do is use this. Like so. And then wait for them to act. We need to have 4 mana at the end of it no matter what, though. Actually, there's a ward. Okay, Spike Field this can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 can pay the 3. You have to be really careful, though. Here comes the Fading Hope. Now, we can cast Unexpected Windfalls from our graveyard. That is an option. I think what I should definitely do is make some treasure. My biggest concern is that they're going to bounce the Dragon and I won't have the mana to bounce this anymore. So I have to be really careful. Not great. I've definitely seen better. Fidget, fidget. Prismari Command can do more with the dragon, I guess. It can net positive with the dragon. Okay, if they have another Fading Hope and they hit the dragon, we have enough to pay the ward on the hall. Six versus 8. I do have them next turn with Leer and Prismari Command if I get through this. Of course, we can just do this. Whew. Whew, I feel like I took a billion actions and still just barely made it out of that. Let's try it. I don't like all these 5 drops, but I have a lot of land and a well-placed removal spell being on the play. Maybe I can make it there. Goblins. Okay, let's draw those Cinderclasms. We really want to try to wait for a Lord to beat these goblins. Opponent with a priority hold that's likely Frostbite. Okay, we do not iterate here. We need to wait. Because we need to abrade the Lord. Okay. Face is the place. We don't have any life gain, so I guess the Celestis is our best hope at that. It would be nice to draw it. Opponent slow rolling themselves here. They were considering playing with fire on the upkeep, I think. Countdown continues. Land off the top. Expressive. If there's no untapped land, you might see me play one anyway. Okay, wave into hand. Jawari into bye-bye. This into exile. Nasty. Not a lot I can do about that. Here comes the Lord. And another one. Goblin's doing goblin things. Where's Cinderclasm when you need it? I didn't put 3 of those and 2 battles in my deck to draw none of them at a crucial time. But that's what's happening. Okay. How do we do it? I guess this is Dragon? No. That's lethal. Goblins. Come on. That sucks, man. We went 14 deep and didn't find a sweeper. It really sucks. Should have been easy mode. Deck made it hard. Oh, man. I think I have to mulligan this on the basis that's too one-dimensional. But Man, if I'm against a control deck, it's good. It's just slow. And the Jwari can buy you time. And we could draw a sweeper. I'm talking myself into it again. If they have a fast hand and we have to mulligan, we're just kind of dead anyway. Wait, what? Back-to-back goblins? That's kind of messed up. Matchmaker. Well, the draws are working out better than last time. I'm going to try to be smarter this time. I think I made a big mistake not using Jwari Disruption on the "you see a pair of goblins" turn. I think I could have put this in my hand and not the Geist Wave, and it would have been smart. Speaking of smart, let's get this countered. It is absurd that I've played back-to-back goblins. 2 different players. Rough. Interesting spot, because I can do this. And I think it's right. Just gotta keep my life total high. Every turn I need to think about what can I do to keep my life total high. This is pretty good. They might power up this den, and I want them to. They still might power up this den, especially if I go for this windfall. Let's let them attack first. No smooth brain stuff here. Out of there. I could slam the dragon. And I still have Dragon's Fire for the den. But I don't need to be that aggressive. I can wait. I can wait until this den is off the field. I'm going to play it smarter than I played the last one. As long as their creatures are dead, they can't beat me. There we go. A little bit of vengeance. I'll take a third match with goblins. You know, one where I draw one of my sweepers. Still hasn't happened. Okay, the sweepers are here. Obviously goblins, right? How could it not be? Just give me some stuff to kill. Clerics. Right. Okay. Professor of Sim blah blah blah. We meet again. I may need this land, so I really don't want to play the hazard. Okay. I think I'm supposed to see if I draw red for a Chasm. Fail. If they don't cast a life gain spell this turn, we can still Chasm both creatures, but it looks like I'm going to have to Dragonfire the Voice. Maybe I can bounce it. Get them to replay it, then Chasm both creatures? Let's try. Okay. Let's see if that's a recast. There's a land. Play around Revitalize. And just Chasm now. There's definitely a chance they play more stuff. A little greedy. I mean, their life gain, they're incentivized to gain life before combat if they have it. Please resolve. Cool. Sus. But we have plenty of creatures to throw at them. As long as the last one standing is Lear, I'll be happy. We have a Geist Wave in our graveyard. Okay. Rude. Protection from God creatures. Exile an attacking creature. They got me. Now they can get something back from the graveyard, so they're putting up a fight. They're not finished with me yet. Interesting choice when they have a lot of mana already to play that. Very suspicious. Go squad. Lethal damage threatened. To the sideboard. What do you learn? What does Sim blah 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 teach today? Reduced to memory. I think that's still lethal. Revitalized, they did have it. Should have played around it earlier, got away with one. Alright, no longer lethal here from Reduce. $14, and another Professor Sim blah blah blah. Alright. Lear time. Always fun with Gold Span here. Can hit him really hard. Get out of this. If you can. A board wipe, we just attack with all. It's fine. Anything else? I don't know how they live. They did keep on top. It better save them. Tell me that's not what you kept on top. Tell me that's not what you kept on top. Opponent? I attack you. Oh, man. I have to check the profile on Untapped to be sure, but I think I'm fighting for a new season high rank. I think that's what this would be. I think I entered around 200. I don't remember being this high in a while. Not since last month. Hey, cool flex, bro. Hey, it is what it is. I do this every day. Okay, really need an untapped red. I don't get it. This is a bad matchup. This is going to be rough. The Delver, Ascendant Spirit, Mono Blue tempo stuff just gives us fits if we don't draw enough removal. This hand is pretty medium. We need to keep them on the back foot. They hold up the mana, wow. Okay. Let's hope that they activate the Spirit on end step. It's the way a lot of people play it. Nope. They're too smart. This could get ugly. I don't have much to do next turn. I guess I have to go for this. Now, if they Fading Hope it, that's okay. Spell Pierce is not okay. That is the worst scenario. We're living in the worst timeline. Alright, I have to play this Geist Wave around a Spell Pierce, so let's see what we can do here. Looks like we're dealing with a perfect hand. We are absolutely screwed. If they counter this, nothing useful happens. So what can I do? Next turn they pump this, they untap, they pump it again. So we need them to counter this. They don't have to counter this. They can still win if they don't. Most people will, though. At least this way they don't get to pump this to a lethal threat. And they're down to one card. So we can still Memory Deluge into Geist Wave and land. They should just attack for 4. We're under lethal threat if this thing survives. Okay. Seems unnecessary, but it is what it is. That's unfortunate. Won't do us any good. We needed land Geist Wave, we didn't get it. I mean, I guess our out is that the opponent uses the wrong pump. But man, their opening sequence was perfect, and we just didn't have an untapped red. That's gonna be an L. They don't need to pump here, they should just pass priority. It's kind of silly not to. Alright. But is what it is. That hurts. Untapped red, man. Should have been easy. And we are back for the post-game wrap, and let's check out the stats powered by Untapped.gg. As you see, I did play the deck on ladder a little earlier. It was under a different name, but it got renamed when I added Geistwave to it. We went 5-1 when I was just playing it for fun, kind of a late night ranked session a while back. I never recorded it. And then we went 4-2 today. So an overall 75% win rate, an hour and 26 minutes in, 9-3. It shouldn't surprise anybody then, Izzet deck with good cards can hang. But what I really hope to kind of show here is that we don't lose anything really by switching off of Fading Hope and running cards like Geistwave. If anything, I think it's a value add that can make a big difference in a ton of matchups. It's just like, what are these stats? 0% on the play for version 2? Does that just mean I wasn't on the play at all? I was only on the play once? I mean, that'll tell you right there. We lost to Goblins on the play. That was kind of weird. Anyway, 2 Goblin gamers back to back. What are the chances? But yeah, the deck definitely hangs with whatever the meta wants to throw at. Izzet cards are just too good not to, but it's the little things like getting an extra card where your opponent isn't getting a card that can make a difference when everybody already knows the power level of the cards involved and thinks that they have the right list at all times. So go for the little adjustments. Check out Geistwave if you're going to play Izzet. I think you'll like it. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. You're cool.